All right, today I'm talking about an artist who actually was my absolute favorite artist for a very brief period of time. Um, Most of the time, I've been someone that's been a lover of rock and roll, punk, ska, hardcore, emo, even new metal. That's the music that got me to love music the most for myself. However, late elementary school, early junior high, there was a period where I was really, really into R&B. I still like it. I like it all, and I've actually come back to liking it the way I did back in the day that I'd kind of gotten away from. But what made me fall in love with R&B at that time was this artist, and that is Boyz II Men. So specifically, the release of Boyz II Men 2 was an album that actually absolutely blew me away. And so at that time, I went all in. I was like Boyz II Men, All for One, SWV, In Vogue, TLC. And there's so many that I didn't ever learn, I never got into because my knowledge didn't grow that fast. Back then, you didn't learn about music quite as quickly as you can now, obviously. Like the internet, you can learn a million artists in a day. But there was about a half dozen of them that I really, really liked. But Boyz II Men is the one that started it for me. And there's a lot of them that I don't have any music from right now, but I'm working on it. So Boyz II Men, I do not have to, and I do hope to someday get it. But again, one day I was in Target, this was there, and I was like, I gotta get it. So this is Boyz II Men Legacy, the Greatest Hits Collection. This is, I believe it's a double LP. Let's take a look here. This is like a purple. It's almost like a maroon purple. And it looks a little differently face to face. So you can see that looks real maroon. It looks a little more purple on my end. So it's a double LP. I think it's the same color on both albums. Yeah. But this is a greatest hits collection. So it's got a lot of stuff from a lot of different eras. I'll say it's 2 LPs. Here's our track list, right? We're starting out with Motown Philly. Then we go, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, End of the Road, In the Still of the Night, I'll Remember, Hey Lover with LL Cool J, I'll Make Love to You, On Bended Knee, Water Runs Dry, One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey, Doing Just Fine, Seasons of Loneliness, Song for Mama, and Pass You By. Now, pardon me, at this point, I have only 2 Boyz II Men albums, this one and Christmas Interpretations, and they're both fantastic albums. But I could see myself going back and getting Cooley High Harmony and getting 2, at least, those first 2 albums, because they're so good, and I think they really brought that genre at the time into popular culture in a way it hadn't been before. But I also wouldn't mind getting albums by a lot of those other artists I just named. So, that's the thing about being a record collector and having a wide taste is that there is a limitless number of albums that I would love to get. But I do have a limited budget and a limited amount of space. So I am constricted by that. If you don't have any Boyz II Men in your collection, this is a great album to get because it can be a one and done. Greatest hits, bam, you got it. You're all done. It doesn't have to be. And I'll tell you, sometimes for me, I'll still get a greatest hits collection even if I have all the albums. So a great example of that is Blink 182. I have pretty much all of their albums, but I've also got their greatest hits. And there's a value in that because sometimes it's a different mix on the greatest hits. They've got an extra guest vocal on the greatest hits. They've got an extra track. So a lot of times there's a reason to get that greatest hits that there wouldn't be anything else. But I recommend this album. I highly recommend it. I hope that you get some Boyz II Men in your collection. These guys still making some sweet music. And check it out.